Game here going on between La Honda and Los Barachos. This is a semifinal game. Waiting on the lineup card for La Honda. Leading off is going to be Woody. And for those of you new to this is Chicago 16-inch style softball. Cold night here in Chicago. So I'm a little bundled up. And just kind of hoping that some of our regulars tune in here. I might need a little help. May need to have somebody track the runs for me. Last time Lee did it, hard for me to keep track and write it down during the ball game in this kind of weather. For those of you new to this is Chicago 16-inch style softball. You're seeing it correct. No gloves, and on a cold night like tonight, it can be a little challenging to say the least. So Woody's going to step in here. If anybody's watching on Facebook, if you could type a comment in there and let me know that the broadcast is beaming, I would appreciate it. So here's Woody. He swings, hits a hard ground ball to short. Chu picks it up, throws across in time, and that's how our game is going to start. Thank you. So that's going to bring up George. So the camera's going to bounce around here a little bit while I put this. Can you turn that down a little bit? So Bullies got upset tonight. We've shown you a couple of their ball games. Good, solid club, but they're in a little bit of a rut. They're not swinging the bats real good recently, and they got bounced out of these playoffs. It's, of course, win or go home. So George swings and he drives it. That's going to be fouled down the line. And I'll take advantage of this little break here to try to get my sheet squared away. And I'll give you guys, for you guys who are new to this, I'll run you through some of the rules so that you guys can be up to speed on it. So new life for George. Again, this Los Barachos, this is the second session. They had two. They started at Intentional Sports, and George hits a little line drive, caught by the left fielder. So 2 up, 2 down here, top of the first. That's going to bring up Jonathan. And there's a swing, and that's going to be our first hit of the game as I finally got my sheet squared away. So 2 out base runner here.
Your hit. Your hit.
It's going to bring up Jose. He takes a called strike there. And you can see the pitcher there trying to quick pitch him. And there's a swing and a high pop-up. Shortstop calling for it. Makes the basket catch. So at the end of 1/2 inning, no score. With Los Barachos coming to bat. Of course, Los Barachos is the number 1 seed.
Hey, let's play some defense. Let's go, gang. Let's go. Go. Shit.
Yeah. Here, just hold on to it for a second. So leading off, it's going to be Chu. Of course, Steve Rodriguez normally with Los Barachos, but he's running the league, so kind of set up a wall where he doesn't coach or manage the team in order to avoid any conflicts.
Blood in my eyes. Let's go, Chewy.
Okay, you're welcome. So bottom of the first, no score. Of course, the live stream is powered by Gold Rush Gaming. We'll give you more information on them shortly. Chew takes that pitch. Again, this is Chicago's 16-inch style softball, 60-foot bases, 38 feet from the rubber to the point of home plate, 6'12" on the arc. Because we're playing no glove, the pitcher gets a drag step, one step right, left, or back. And Chew, a little spinner down the first baseline, that's going to go foul.
I'll take a shot, Chew.
That's going to bring up Luke. So pitcher gets the drag step. 6'12" on the arc. He gets two fakes or hesitations. Third arm action has to come home. There's a fly ball toward right center, and it drops. Base hit. So Los Borrachos has their first hit of the ball game. And a fake or a throw toward a base is considered one of your two fakes or hesitations. You can lead off. And I think earlier, if I'm not mistaken, they were playing that you could actually steal if you got played on and there was an open base. So here's Rolo. He flies out to the left fielder, and that's going to be out number 2. So cold day here. Los Borrachos had a bye, and I think that we'll see how fast they can get warmed up. La Honda had a play game, I believe, so they should be a little looser. And there's a high fly ball, a lot of foul territory here, and that's into the alley. So that's going to force somebody to have to hop a fence to go get it and tighten up this shot just a little bit. We are in the bottom of the first, semifinal action. And of course, this weekend we'll have Matt Dozen's guaranteed rate kickoff classic out from Tinley Park. Nice facility out there. And should be a lot of fun. We're hoping to dodge some raindrops and get that tournament in. So here's a swing and a hard ball and hit the lip of the grass. Base runner's going to come around to score, and that's the benefit of having 2 outs. Now the ball gets away, and the hitter, Logan, gets into second. So 1-0. They cash in, and they take an early lead here. That's going to bring up Eddie, extra hitting today. Tough break if you're a La Honda fan. As Josh Cias looked like he was going to make a play, and the ball hit the lip of the grass and popped over the top of him. And there's a swing and a ground ball. Josh can't get it. Chew, courtesy running, will score run number 2. So Borrachos got the 1-out hit, and since then they've manufactured a couple of runs. Brings up J-Rod. We talked about J-Rod a little bit in the Dome. Younger kid, a lot of talent, big kid. Needs a little seasoning, but he's got the chance to be a pretty good one. Even though he's a big kid, he's got good feet, good hands. And there's a high fly ball, and that's going to be caught, dropped by the right fielder. So another run's going to score, 3-0 Barachos. So it was just a high fly ball to right. Looked like Jesse. I believe that's Jesse. It's hard to tell with all the clothing everybody's wearing. So J-Rod drives in the third run, and it brings up Chops. So we're going to try to hang in here and show you the championship game. Winner of this game, and Francisco puts his foot out, and Josh can't make the play, and it's out of play. Second and third. Now, a lot of people, it is normally considered 2 bases, but that's kind of a misnomer. Problem is the runner on first when the ball is thrown isn't at second. So technically he gets second and third. And there's a catch out in left field for out number 3. But 3 runs for Los Barachos here in the bottom of the first. So the way the rule is, if you think about it, and I'll use this example, if batter hits a ground ball to the shortstop and the shortstop throws the ball away and it goes into the dugout. So the hitter is awarded first, and then he gets the second base, which is going to second. So if you're a runner and a ground ball gets hit to the shortstop and he throws it into the dugout, you would only get second because you have not established that base yet. And at that point, there's a little flip by Lou Rossi leading off. And here comes the throw to second. Stand-up double for Lou Rossi as he walks the dog down the right field line for a leadoff double, and that's going to bring up Josh Cias. And the courtesy run. So here's Josh Cias. See if he tries to go the other way. He does, but hits it right on the money, but right at the second baseman for out number 1. And that drives the manager insane when you just want the guy to try to push it the other way to move a guy. And here's Nava. And he ends up hitting a line drive at the second baseman. So Wanda trailing by 3 here, top of the second. And there's a ground ball, and Chu fumbles it. So the runner did the right thing. He's entitled to stand on that base. And looked like Chu was trying to figure out which side of him to go get the ball. And Chu ends up fumbling it. That's going to bring up Francisco Arenas, coach. Of course, Francisco, little infield fly, and that's out number 2. So after the leadoff double, they haven't moved him so far. And here comes Jesse. Jesse fumbled that fly ball that cost him a run. You know he'd like to get back even on the ledger here. And there's a ground ball up the middle. Second baseman, they go to short way for the fielder's choice. And they strand the leadoff double. Never moved them. We head to the bottom of the second, 3-0 Barachos. See, Amalia has checked in from France. Rollo. What's his name? Caesar. Okay, that thought so. So leading off is Caesar. And he rifles a hit down the right field line. And that's going to be a leadoff single. So Los Borrachos, despite the cold weather, swinging the bats pretty good. We thought it might take them a little while to get loose, but they're swinging it very well. And here's Stan. Of course, we'll have the championship game next, and there's a little soft fly ball to center. Center fielder went down, and a Crouch made the catch. So again, the Kickoff Classic out in Tinley, some good matchups. I believe the first game we're going to show you of the weekend is going to be Signature Flashback. George Bliss will be on the call from Frontier Park. They're using two parks out there. And that brings up Big O. And later on, after that game, we're going to show you Moneyline and BTA. And then we'll play it by year. We'll probably have the semi and the championship game. It's a consolation. Cias, long throw, snap back to third. Safe underneath the tag. So Caesar, very aggressive, took the extra bag. Yeah, it must take a while to get out to France, Amalia. So back to the top of the lineup in Chew. Runners on the corners now. Or take that back. They did get the runner at first. And there's a swing and a line drive to the gap. That's going to be a base hit. Another run scores, 4-0 Borrachos. So we're going to have some good matchups. That is a consolation bracket tournament. It's a mixed A major type tournament. There might be a B team in there. And that's going to bring up Luke. So 2-game guarantee. They're using Community Park, which is the main park, and then that Frontier Park. So we'll have softball action. Hopefully the weather will comply. And there's a walk that's going to put another runner on for Rollo. Last time when we saw Rollo at Intentional Sports, he kind of screwed up an ankle. Wasn't running very well. He looks healthy tonight, though. And if you're an NFL fan, apparently the Bears got Caleb Williams and Rome Adunzo. No catch, double clutch, not in time. So Josh Cias couldn't catch the sinking liner, and then he double clutched it, and the double clutch cost him a play at first. And that's going to bring up Logan. Got a big hit in the first inning here. And there's a towering foul ball. That's going to be in the alley there. I thought it had a shot to maybe get to the backyard, but it did not. And there is a very large amount of foul territory here, probably bigger than really any park we play in all summer. So apparently the boombox is stuttering and skipping, doesn't like the cold weather. And so there's a little jam sandwich and a lot of noise there. I believe they only got one. 4-0. As we head to the top of the third. I used to tell my teams when we'd get into this type of weather that it's all about want to. You got to want to be here. And the team that wants it more generally tends to win in these kind of conditions. So if I'm a little slow responding to you, I am using some third-party software here, waiting for Facebook to change whatever settings they have that won't allow the landscape view. So it's going to be KC in the top for La Honda, trailing 4-0 here, top of the third. And there's a swing and a line drive handled by the left fielder. Rolo, Johnny on the spot there. So we're going to go back to back. And I'm all geared up here with my SSA stocking hat. Got the gloves and the winter coat on. So far, so good. And there's a swing and a ground ball handled by the shortstop. A little bobble, but he made the play. So Chops came flying in on it, made a nice play. 2 up, 2 down. As Baracho's throwing a little early leather here. So we are a little behind as it's 9:20. And here's George, and he slashes one foul down the right field line. So it's supposed to be 75 if we don't get close to 80 on Saturday, which will be a little bit of a shock just as much as the cold is this early in the year. And there's a little fly ball, and Rolo makes that catch. So we'll head to the top of the third, bottom of the third, 4-0 Barachos. Saw Flashback and Signature square off last night. Flashback won 10-7. So it'll be interesting on Saturday. It was so cold yesterday. And there's a high fly ball by the leadoff man. And that's going to be caught. And it's going to bring up J-Rod. So Eddie flies out and J-Rod up. And there's a little pop-up. First baseman is there, and he makes the play for out number 2. Blonda certainly can use a goose egg. And it brings up Chops, the shortstop. And there's a swing and a base hit. So base hit for Chops as he just punches one into center field. Yeah, 1 year in Forest Park, the league ran so late. We were playing in late October, and we had a game there where there were some pretty decent flurries coming down. And there's a little swing and a ground ball. Long throw, and he throws it into the bench. And second and third again. So Yoendi hit a little ground ball. Josh Cias a little high on the release. 2 outs now, second and third. Brings up Caesar. Los Barachos got a chance to pick up some two-out runs here. And there's a high fly ball. Center fielder a couple of steps back, puts it away. So Barachos threaten but do not score. We head to the top of the fourth, 4-0. I'll tell you what was worse than playing softball. When it's snowing, my freshman year, I was going over walking to my high school to go watch a football game. And the sophomore basketball coach grabs me. He says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to watch a football game, coach." And at that time, they were thinking of having me play sophomore basketball as a freshman. So here's the leadoff man, Jonathan. And he said, he said, "I figured you're going to see the football game. What are you doing on Monday?" And I looked at him, and I said, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" And he said, "You're going to be running cross country." What a miserable sport that is. Started in the fall in 85-degree weather, finished up in November. It was 30 degrees and snowing like a hurricane at the conference meet. So here's a swing and a foul ball. That's going to be out of reach down the line there. It's Jose trying to go the other way, let that ball get a little too deep on him. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not built to be a cross-country runner. Does get you in shape, though. And there's a little better swing, but right out to center field. And that's caught, and he fires it in. And now it rolls away. Runner was not going to go. I'm not quite sure. It looked like Logan really wound up and threw a missile in. Chooch couldn't handle it. Everybody on the infield just kind of was looking. The ball was bouncing around, and the base runner took advantage. So here's Lou Rossi. He walked the dog down the right field line his last time up. And there's a swing off the pitcher. Chu going to go the short way, and it hits him in the shoulder and goes out of play. So Laanda on the board due to some aggressive base running, and there's the commish. Steve Rodriguez making an appearance. And so Los Barachos getting a little loose with the softball here. And Laanda has scratched, and they're on the board. Brings up Josh Cias. And Josh goes the other way, and it's a foul ball. Sorry, folks, my hands are so cold when I touch the screen, nothing's happening. Notice I was a little. Sorry about that. I was fumbling with my gloves and I must have rubbed the mute button. So 2 outs here, run in. Sorry about the slow tapping of the scoreboard, but I'm putting gloves on and taking them off. And there's a little fly ball. This should be out number 3, and it is. But in the inning, LaHonda does break the seal, and they do get on the board. Halfway through, 4-1 Los Barachos on a cold day out in Cicero, Illinois, western suburb that shares a common border with the city of Chicago. You know, a lot of times if you're an underdog, sometimes cold weather is your friend because a lot of times it doesn't provide great circumstances to score a lot of runs. And a couple of errors or bobbles and you can find yourself right in a ball game. Wasn't a whiteout, but it was coming down, and you know, back then they didn't have all this fancy under gear, so you're wearing nylon shorts and a Dago tee. And all I could remember, high pop up here by the leadoff man, and that's 1 out, and it'll bring up the big O. So Stan pops up, and I remember getting on the bus and they had the heat on and being half frozen, sweating, freezing. Big O, a little flare down the line, and that's going to drop harmlessly. And we were all in the bus trying to get our dryer clothes on and putting on the version of the sweats that they had given us and stuff, and the steam was coming off of everybody. So Big O takes that pitch a little deep. But that's a rough sport when you're running through the woods, jumping over tree roots and trees that had branches that had fallen on the track. It was crazy. So here's the Big O. And there's a high fly ball. And Jesse's there. This time he handles it without an issue.
Stop.
And that's 2 outs, but the top of the lineup. So here's Chu Cardenas. And there's a little chopper to third. Picks it up on the short hop. Nicely done. Throws across for out number 3. So LaHonda, after giving up the 4 quick runs, has gotten a couple of goose eggs in a row to allow them to hang in the ball game here. And we head to the top of the 5th, 4-1. You know, sometimes when you're a favorite, you get lulled to sleep here. And so as a result, it's always a little dangerous if you're playing an underdog like that.
Hey, new hitter.
So it looks like this might be a pinch hitter. This might be Hector. Fairly snappy ball game. And there's a little pop-up. Second baseman, easy play. So Hector hit for coach, and he'll bring up Jesse. Yeah, Joe, it should be warmer. And there's a swing and a ball hit toward the gap. That's going to drop. Jesse takes the turn, but he slams the brakes on. Logan got there quick, threw a strike in on one hop. No chance to advance. Here comes KC with the top looming. And he slashes one to third. It squirts through. Picks it up. Fake the throw. First and second. Honda got a little something cooking here. And brings up the top of the lineup with Woody. Yeah, Joe, it's supposed to be warm, and that's going to be. I might wear the cargo shorts on Saturday. And there's a swing, and that's a base hit. Jesse's going to score, and now the ball's bouncing around. Nobody at third. No, Logan has a very strong arm. He's very quick, but the play is in front of him there. He wound up and basically spiked the throw that nobody could handle. Third baseman just put his foot out to stop it from going in the dugout, and then it was bouncing all over. Sometimes young kids want to show off that gun when they don't really need to. And here's George, and he goes the other way to second. They get the out at first, but the second run does score for La Honda. And that'll make it 2 outs, 4-2 ball game.
Hey, Johnny, give me a hold here. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, that's to your left.
Brings up Jonathan. Another run over here at third base. 2 outs here. And there's a little flare toward the alley, but the left fielder, Rollo, makes the catch. But they score a run to make it 4-2, I believe.
Get these guys going. Hey, where the ball out?
Speaking of, excuse me, I think I'm calling. I called him Logo. Might have been, it was Lucan Center. They do have a Logan, but he's catching. So my bad. As Gio shaking off the cold and the early season rust. So we are in the bottom of the 5th, 4-2 ball game. And we are live from Clyde. I'll check that score. It could be 4-3. I'll confirm that. And there's a hard ground ball. Third baseman just couldn't quite stay down. Brings up Rollo now, leadoff man on. 4-3 or 4-2? 4-3. It is 4-3. So thank you very much there for the fan who gave us the heads up on that. I'm not even going to try to say the first name. Epigemenio. But I appreciate it. If you're keeping track of the runs at home, feel free to throw that out there. And there's a high fly ball toward the gap. Center fielder closed on it, made a nice catch and lobs it in. Base runner was Luke had gotten practically all the way to second base, which is not a bad play as a base runner because the center fielder had to go down to catch it. So he's not going to be able to get up and throw you out going back to the bag. And if he fumbles it, then you're pretty much guaranteed getting to third base. And there's a ground ball to third. He'll throw across, high throw, first baseman can't catch it, and it's out of play. So that was a hard ground ball there by Eddie.
Do a job. Hey, one day. Do a job.
Or excuse me, by
Watch it one more time.
And there's a ground ball to Josh Cias from his knees in time for the out, but another run scores. And that's where those errors hurt you because that would have had the possibility of being a double play ball. But with the error, it was second and third. So the fifth run scores for the Barachos. And it brings up J-Rod. My guy Pete. Hey, Pete, I saw you guys hung in there last night. Checked the score this morning and saw that you guys lost a close game to High Y last night. And J-Rod spanks one, but right at the center fielder. That ball wanted to drop, but it did not. So a lot of noise for one run. And we're going to head to the top of the sixth in a 5-3 ball game. Again, the live stream is powered by Gold Rush Gaming. If you're looking to put slots in your establishment, give them a call at 630. Hold on, folks. I'm bobbling something here. Give them a call at 630. So it looks like. And there's a little flare, and that's going to be out of play. I'm kind of brain locking on the phone number for Gold Rush, but you can email them at inquiries@goldrush.com gaming. So Jose's trying to start the top of this. And there's a high pop-up, and the first baseman, J-Rod, cruises over and makes the catch. Well, I was going to stick around, Pete, and watch some of your game. Here's Lou Rossi. And I got out there early, watched the first two ball games. And 1, 2, 3 here, or that's only the second out. And I was frozen solid, Pete, so I said hello to you, but I think it took me a good 10 minutes to fold myself into my truck. Yeah, it wasn't horrible for the 6:45 game, but when that sun went down, it was pretty bad. So here's Josh Cias, little ground ball, long throw, not in time. His Chops tried to throw it from the grass. Couldn't make the play. So Josh Siatz is on, and here's Nava. Again, we got a 2-run ball game here in the top of the 6th. There's a ground ball up the middle, and Chu right on the bag. Didn't even have to do anything, as he just stepped on the bag. So we're heading to the bottom of the 6th. Baracho's by a deuce. See my good friend Rich Wagner tuning in. So here's Chops. Will be followed by Yoendi and Caesar. And there's a chopper to third. Big Sunday hop. Throw to first, and the first baseman was bobbling it, and then it started to roll away from him. And he just picked it up in time. Mike Lewis hustling from behind the plate, had a good view of it. So it brings up Yoendi. And there's a little flare toward the gap. That's trouble. That's going to drop. Yoendi's going to try to stretch it into 2, and he'll make it. Stand up double. So now they'll courtesy run with Chops, although they're having trouble finding them. So 1 out double here. Baracho's looking for a little insurance. Brings up Caesar. There's a ground ball. Chops is going to score. So they do pick up 1 insurance run. Caesar just pounded it through the hole between third and short. And they pick up their 6th run of the ball game. So they've doubled up the La Honda squad here at 6-3. Brings up Stan, the big O on deck. And there's a little ground ball to second. Lefty second baseman pivoted and made the play at first. So 2 outs here. So the big O got a chance here to help himself. Base hit could give him that original 4-run lead back. Takes that pitch for a ball. Well, Amalia, when you're Greek and carved out of stone like I am, why would you mess up a piece of artwork with a tattoo? There's a little base hit. That's going to score run number 7. And they tried to throw the big O out at first. I'm sure he didn't appreciate that too much, but he did get there. Brings up Chu. So big couple of insurance runs here for Los Barachos. Ground ball to third. And he throws it high, but Chu wasn't running. First baseman comes off the bag and tags him, and we'll go to a do or a die. Top of the 7th. 7-3. Barachos leading La Honda.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
That's what I got. Yeah. Top of 7th, do or die. You guys next? Oh, that's right. I heard about that. Didn't mean to rub it in.
We scored 2 runs in a 7-inning game.
Hey, we're Bronco farm system.
We lost 3 innings already.
Oh, here we go. Top of the 7th. And there's a fly ball. Second baseman, and it drops. So you might notice there's a little bit of a slope. Second baseman was tracking it. Kind of started to lose his balance just a little bit. Luke, the center fielder, couldn't get there.
Come on, Jess.
And it drops in. So that's going to bring up Jesse, KC on deck. And he slashes a base hit. So you might have heard some of the Brachos guys telling Luke, easy. So first 2 hitters on here brings up KC, the top of the lineup. Yeah, it certainly is, Vargas. Very chilly. It'll be nice on Saturday if we don't get rain, though. And there's a line drive. Dropped by J-Rod. Tags the runner. And then steps on the bag. Double play. That he did it in the right sequence there. He tagged Jesse before Jesse got to the bag. He was off the bag and he got tagged. And then he stepped on the bag. A lot of times the first baseman will make a mistake and they'll tag first, and then the runner can actually go back to that bag. But he did it in the right sequence there. He tagged the runner and then stepped on the bag. So even though Jesse went back to the bag, he was already tagged out. So, big double play here. Going to make this very difficult at this point to come back. And there's a ground ball sliding over, making the play is the shortstop. And Los Barachos wins the ball game 7-3. We're going to click off here. We'll start a new stream. We'll have the championship game shortly. There is going to be a delay because the 2 teams playing at the other end are going to have to walk down here. So we'll be back shortly with the new stream and the championship game. Los Barachos has punched their ticket, and they are in the championship. On behalf of Gold Rush Gaming, this is Gio saying we're going to talk to you real soon.